Hello, StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is going to be between uThermal and Sonu on Ruins of Endion. In the bottom right side of the map, we have the blue Zerg player. It is iAsonu. We're going to call him Sonu from now on. He is a Chinese Zerg player, fairly new to the scene, but a very, very solid guy we've seen on our channel from time to time already. And in the bottom left side of the map, we have the red Terran player. It is uThermal. A fan favorite. Some people are very big fans of this guy. Really want to see him succeed, and we'll see how he does today against the blue Infestation Zerg named Sonu. Alright, so Ruins of Endion, we've seen this quite a bit over the last few days. These rocks are basically the path, or the blockades rather, between the two bases on this map. One here and one here, your starting positions. So if you want to rush, you have to go all the way up and around and down. It just takes some extra time here. You'd think this is a 4-player map just based on how big it is, but no, these are just bases you can take later. You can only spawn in the bottom right and bottom left-handed corners. So let's see. Oh, uThermal going for, there's the gas. Okay, so we're going to go Reaper expand here. Nothing too insane, and hatch first into an extractor, into a pool from Sonu. I really appreciate that Legacy of the Void games get this part of the game out of the way faster than Heart of the Swarm and Wings of Liberty. I just felt like, I'm going to make a confession. When I used to watch Husky back in the day, I would fast forward the first couple of minutes on YouTube. Just click out because I knew it was going to be a hatch first from Zerg. I mean, I knew it was going to be a gateway first from Protoss. Like, nothing ever changed. And sometimes I'd miss rushes, but not really, as he tended to cast the longer macro games too. So anyway, with me, I hope you don't have to do that because things are different pretty darn quickly in Legacy of the Void. That spawning pool is just about to finish. There's the expansion command center, and there's the Reaper. So once again, Reapers are generally judged by how many drone kills they can get and how much scouting they do. If they get no scouting, bad Reaper. If they get no scouting and no drone kills, super bad Reaper. So we'll see how this guy does on our report card. There are only 2 categories, drone kills and scouting. Killing Lings is fine, but unless you kill like 5 or 6 of them, I just don't feel like giving you any credit, Mr. Reaper, sir. And yes, you're scary with your glowing eyes and your scary gas mask and your jetpack, but I'm not going to be intimidated by you. So 2 queens on the way. There are already some Lings out here too from iAsonu. Once again on creep. Oh my gosh, what a play. Holy smokes, KD8 charge, knocking everybody back. That Reaper, oh, manages to hop down the ledge. Just manages to hop down the ledge there and stay alive. So far, some pretty bad scouting. Has really only seen the expansion hatch, which he knew about already. Hasn't killed any Lings, hasn't come close to killing a drone. Gonna use this combat shield to pop up here again, but guess what? The queen's out, and now, oh, the Reaper. Oh, the Reaper. Am I forced to give you an F on your report card? I mean, maybe a D-, because you did see there was an expansion, so that's good. It's not a one-base play from Sonu. Man, good positioning here by the queens, though. 2 of them even. Man, it's so hard. It's so hard to get in there when there are 2 queens out already. The Lings are gonna have speed in about 10 seconds. Sorry, dude, not going to happen. Maybe you'll find some glory later on. We'll kind of keep an eye on you a little bit on the mini-map, but I just, maybe you can deny this space by killing a drone. That would be nice, but these Lings are going to have speed, and there they are. 3 Lings coming right on up. They're not afraid of you anymore. The Reaper doesn't even really try to micro that much. KD8 charge exploding, almost killing a Ling, but I think that guy died without killing a single anything. Oh, Reaper. All right. All right. We will not be telling your story to our children when we are old. Going for a 3rd command center here is uThermal. This Marine chasing away the Overlord. He says, I wish my gun hit harder. I'm just kind of basically tickling this Overlord to death. I'll get there, but it takes me a while. The Overlord going and just escapes out into the open nothingness of the middle of the map. 3rd hatch now going up for Sonu as well. So both players on 3 bases at this point. I just feel like Sonu needs to go for a 4th or needs to attack pretty soon. Just now getting his Roach Warren 4 minutes into the game. It's 40 to 32 workers, so he has been macroing very hard, macroing to his heart's content, but you can't leave uThermal alone this long either. So Flying Tank makes his appearance in this game. The Queen's trying to stab this medevac down. Lings on the high ground, Lings on the low ground. Killing one of the Lings, splash damage, greatly injuring another one here. And pretty good display of some Siege Tank flying micro right now from uThermal. Dropping and firing. There's that delay. Again, it can't shoot as soon as it lands. That was patched in an earlier version of Legacy of the Void, but might as well get some damage in on this 3rd hatch. Sonu, what do you have in production? Nothing. Has 4 drones in production, a Spore Crawler on the way. These queens slowly working their way up to try to kill this medevac. It's just off creep. They're so slow. They are so darn slow. Lings on the low ground trying to deal with this thing. If they get right up close to the tank, they can actually hit it without the tank getting any damage off on them. So sticking close is their best bet. Do not let it get far away. Creep is now spreading on out, throwing out a creep tumor just to get to the edges so the queens have better mobility throughout this entire third base. There we go, exactly what they want. And this might be the end of the flying tank. I guess almost got a shot off there, but I think it got picked up before the animation completed. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, this guy has 3 kills. I think they're all lings, so nothing really to write home about. Has done damage to this hatch, has some damage to these queens, but that will come back. Though that HP will heal. Meanwhile, back at the base, there is a +1/+1 coming up for uThermal. He's getting stim. He's getting a lot of marines, too. And Sonu going really heavy on that Roach Ravager stuff. +1 missile attack, +1 carapace, and glial reconstitution seem to be what he is going for. This medevac, man, being super patient. Flying around, just trying to see where he can drop, or she can drop, because that's definitely a she. Drop the siege tank to get some kills off. Knocking down these rocks, Sonu is now finally going for a 4th base. Again, it just feels a little bit late considering how long this one has been up for uThermal. It's 69 to 52 workers, though. Holy smoke, Sonu. You are absolutely killing it in the macro game. 70 workers at 6 minutes into the game, with 4 bases on top of it, with queens, with lings, getting upgrades, getting an infestation pit finishing here at the 6-minute mark, too. He could go for a sub-7-minute hive, which would be pretty darn nuts. So Roaches are ready to rock as this Overlord scouts this drop coming on. Good placement of the Overlord there from Sonu. And yeah, so many Roaches on the ground. Not going to happen. uThermal, if he could instantly drop his units, he might be okay, but dropping them one at a time is just suicide. Lings chasing this thing around still. Oh, the queens do... Oh, final shot. Queen does snipe down. That medevac causing to explode in midair, and you lose all the cargo with it too, so that siege tank died with it. Roaches pushing out across the map. Glial reconstitution just about to finish, not quite there yet, and there it is. They now have that roach speed, so much faster on creep too than they are off creep, but still not bad off the creep. The spread is looking good for Sonu, really doing a good job there as well. Both players are just kind of poking at each other. Another attempt to drop this creep, and this Overlord sees exactly what's going on. Roaches rushing their way back here. A couple of Roaches and a queen. And against pure marine, yeah, uThermal does not like those odds at all. Dropping up here is uThermal. I think he wants to try to kill this base, but these Roaches are ready to rock. Are there enough Roaches to handle this thing? There might be. The upgrades, again, are pretty darn good, but that stim really making a difference here for the Marines. A lot of Marines are dying, but Roaches are dying a little bit faster. I would say the Roaches are forced to retreat, a full retreat here by the drones as well. Can the Marines take down this hatch? That's what they're trying to do. And can they get it? Pretty good stutter step micro on display here by our Terran player. And he gets the drones instead. Oh, killing 4 or 5 drones and picking up and boosting off for the expense of a couple Marines. These Marines landing, killing out creep tumors. The Roaches might want to murder them straight up first. Leave our creep tumors alone, they say. They won't do you any good. And I guess that's the reason they're getting killed, because they don't do Terran any good. +2 attack on the way for uThermal, getting now +2 infantry armor, +2/+2 for those Roaches, Ravagers, Hydras, and Lurkers. Now on the way for Sonu. 183 to 137 total supply. 76 to 60 Harvesters. I just feel like Sonu's in a pretty good spot right now. He's got to be happy about it. Now mass producing Roaches 4 at a time. Now going for the hive, a sub 9-minute hive, not a sub 8-minute hive, but that's okay. That is just fine. He's going pretty heavy on this Roach stuff in the mid-game. Again, I don't see a Spire, though. I like Spires as Zerg against Terran. Roach, bad rally, but able to force a liftoff there anyway. Marines in different spots, just making sure that he sees exactly what's coming his way. Overlords still not being challenged either. uThermal's third base up and running, has a lot of barracks up here too. A big swell of Marines and Marauders heading on out now, leaving the main base fairly undefended, but I don't think Sonu has any plans to get on in there. Marine just holding his post, gets evaporated, and his body falls into the water. That's actually... haven't seen that animation before. Kills him, knocks him in the water, he floats and then disappears. Huh, that was pretty neat. Liberators trying to sneak on their way up top here. There is a Spore Crawler, and there are Ravagers just begging those things to set up. Corrosive Bile 1. Oh my gosh. And Corrosive Bile not quite 2. Almost. Gonna get it. Sniping down workers in the meanwhile, though. You can't leave this here. Big old attack going on. Fungals on top of everything. Really good concave by uThermal, forcing Sonu back. Sonu is still at 189 total supply. Reinforcements coming on in. Now turning the tides, forcing a retreat. This Liberator still murdering everything. 10 kills, and now she is gone. That was a big deal, I think. Killing those workers, 14 workers killed by uThermal at this point. It's 64 to 60 now, where it was 70. It does force Sonu to replace those drones, as he's doing, instead of using that larva and that money on additional attacking units. Although, I don't know, right now he's maxed out, so can't really do anything else. It's 132 to 133 total army supply. It looks like somebody left the game that they were watching. Pretty good scan there on the creep tumors and the roaches and the ravagers. Are they ready to do this thing? No. Yes. No. I don't know. Nobody really wants to commit at this point. The creep spread is still fantastic by iAsonu, pretty much halfway across the map on all parts of the map. uThermal doing his best to keep it back by killing the tumors, as is always tradition in this matchup. Ultralisk Cavern coming up. Sonu's trying to make this thing work with Ultras. Fusion Core being built by uThermal. He wants to go ahead and get that upgrade for the Liberators that allows them to extend their Defender mode circle by a range of 4. Marine dies out on the creep. You can see his little legs and arms there bleeding into the creep and disappearing. +3 Carapace on the way, +3 missile attack. The problem with this strategy that Zerg players have is that in the end, they don't have attack upgrades for melee. And so the Ultras pop out. They have good armor, but they don't hit as hard as they could because all that time was spent upgrading missile attack on the roaches and the ravagers. So it's kind of a problem that I've seen. I'm not sure if iAsonu is going to be able to deal with it here. Again, both players are essentially maxed out. These infestors are really big time. If they can get taken down by uThermal, that's going to help him immensely here. But no, the infestors do manage to live. Currently, there are 2 on the field. Wouldn't argue about seeing more from Sonu, but once again, he's maxed out, so he needs to do something here. It is 4 base to 3 base, so if he can deny uThermal's 4th base, I think he'll be all right. It's just I'm not sure if he can do that, is our problem. Boost up here and an attempted drop, probably going to swing all the way around to this particular area as these guys are waiting for it. I think that roach saw those medevacs heading north and told everybody else what was going on. So, yep, here come the medevacs. There's a lot of roaches and ravagers on the ground, however. Oh, the fungal is going to be a fungal bile. No, he waited too long. Oh, just let them get out of position, just barely. One more. Gonna get it. Oh, and the fungal clears it out. So nicely done, taking out 2 full medevacs. Big deal. Here comes uThermal. Great stim, amazing concave. Corrosive Biles landing, dodging ably as uThermal is able to do. Trying to land here. Oh, knocking down the rocks. Oh, uThermal, that was a dirty move. What a play. Taking out the infestation pit, getting rid of that Ultralisk Cavern. No, he doesn't actually do it here. Coming along this area, iAsonu trying to defend, but coming down that ramp is such a scary proposition. Corrosive Biles do take down a Liberator. Getting rid of the Ultralisk Cavern. A few units are attacking it, but not enough. I just don't know. There it is. The Ultra Cavern does go. It denies that chitinous plating upgrade. Continuing to push on in here is iAsonu, but is it enough? Coming down that ramp is just something he doesn't want to do. Meanwhile, the hatch falls. Liberators are setting up defender modes here as well. And can he walk through it? Sonu's being very timid with this thing. Meanwhile, these units are still laying waste. These drones are not being pulled whatsoever. Losing so many of them right now. Getting slowed, getting killed. Where is the army for Sonu? 150 to 192 total supply. Finally deciding to just go for it, and no, just changes his mind. Corrosive Biles landing, killing a medevac, which is nice, but coming in from the backside here, nice fungal on top of everybody. Fungal bile clearing out a lot of this bile, but there's still a bunch on in here. And who's going to win this dance of death? The creep tumor still exists. The creep is still assisting Sonu at this point. It's 113 to 173 total supply. Meanwhile, there are still Marines back here killing stuff, and Sonu just can't get down that ramp. He's trying to make it work here. He has 19 roaches in production. He might be waiting for those. Corrosive Bile landing. The Liberator dodges that one. These bio units are still up in the side, the main base. And once again, the ramp is so scary for Sonu, but it's coming through anyway. Corrosive Bile's landing. The Ravagers getting absolutely surrounded. Nice fungal catching a lot of these units, DPSing, and enough to clean it out. iAsonu saves it. He does manage to hold on, and it's 159 to 153 total supply. Saves his hive, but man, he lost a lot of drones there. 36 workers killed by uThermal. It's now 39 to 60 workers in favor of our Terran player. Meanwhile, he expanded up here, and he expanded over here. So uThermal went from 3 bases to 5 bases and killed a hatch from Sonu. That is a great pickup on his part. Resources lost tab, 14,300 lost for Sonu, 12,900 lost for uThermal. Again, a lot of defender mode circles here, and Corrosive Bile's landing, taking out one of those Liberators, but not much. A nice scan. Corrosive Bile's dodged, as we can see. Liberator sets up shop right here. The Queen going to go ahead and try to stab it out of the air using her +3 attack. 7 damage, nope, 12 12 damage against air units. Liberators continuing to push on in. That Liberator account getting scary. 9 right now. And yes, a Spire on the way from Sonu. He's replacing his Infestation Pit. He really would like to get some of his Tier 3 stuff back. He got his Ultralisk Cavern back. I think he replaced that one before... Yep. Yes, he did replace that one before the Infestation Pit fell. Did he? No, I guess he didn't need to because the Hive was still here. All right, so Infestation Pit getting replaced. All sorts of larvae are dying here. Somehow Defender mode is really good against larvae, even though they have 10 armor. It's weird. I don't know. Ravagers made it up here. They're waiting for these guys to set up shop and hold still, but not going to happen. Liberators leading this charge. uThermal might be doing this without any ghosts at all. Does he have a Ghost Academy? Structures tab tells us no. He does not have a Ghost Academy, so that's a big deal. Liberators in the air, stimming forward, trying to kill this base, getting rid of the Roach Warren and the Ultra Cavern in one fell swoop. This base under a lot of trouble here, too. Where's the army? Sonu, is he going to base race this thing? Don't base race a Terran. Sonu, it's 200 to 123 total supply. Drones trying to run for their lives. Some of them may manage to escape, but they come back for their return trip, and they get absolutely murdered right in the face. Liberators killing larva, too. It's a pretty good strategy. Killing larva for Zerg, 11 available, means they can't make as many units as they otherwise would want to. Look at how much money there is for Sonu, but in production, he has Corruptors. All right, good. I like Corruptors here. Another attack up here with Roaches trying to take down this base. It is somehow not a planetary fortress. uThermal being a little bit arrogant there. Might just lose it out of hand because of it. Roach up here gets burned on down. I think walked a little bit too close to that circle. Another attack up here is still continuing. All these drones in that back end are going to get absolutely massacred. Roaches might be able to take this down, but not before. No, SCVs coming back on in. Why are you coming back, SCVs? It is not safe for you. These guys have +3 attack. All right, so there are Ultras. There are a ton of Ravagers. The Ultras upgrades are 0 on Kaiser Blades, but +8 on armor. And there are no ghosts. So the Corruptors need to do their job, getting rid of the Liberators. And then I think maybe the Ultras and the Ravagers can clear this thing out, but it's going to be so hard. Such an uphill battle right now for Sonu. He's down 115 to 195 total supply. It is 147 to 108 total army supply as well. The Corruptors trying to do this thing by themselves. Can't quite do it. Forced to run from these +3/+3 Marines. Corrosibile landing, not hitting much of anything there either. This Ultra has 3 kills, but only 100 hit points remaining on this guy. Oh, gets sniped down just at the edge of that circle. Any Ultras left? Yes, there's one. Very low on hit points there as well. Dancing. There's 2, actually. Now going for it is Sonu. Walking right on through. Corosibile's landing on top of everything. Killing a lot of Marauders and a lot of Liberators, actually, but there are still 3. 1 down. Down to 2, and the last one does end up falling there, but all that's left here are a few Ravagers and 1 Ultra with 6 total kills. Sonu manages to push it off, manages to hold it off, but a sneak attack from uThermal coming around this backside here. Can they take down that Ultra? Very difficult to do, but they do manage to get it. Taking a lot of casualties, though, and the Marauders get all cleaned up. Okay, so Sonu does get rid of everything on his side of the map except for this particular Liberator, which he does manage to chase away. However, look how many mining bases uThermal has. Income tab, 53 to 1 Harvester. Yeah, Sonu, I mean, you don't have any mining bases, which is a bit of a problem. Getting +1 flyer attack. That's good. That's good. I mean, he has a decent-sized army here, but we're going to take a look once again. It's 116 to 64. Total army supply. Liberator in here again, and that's it. The GG from Sonu. Sonu is defeated. uThermal's victorious, and Terran wins the day. Woo! Nice play indeed by uThermal. Managed to take out an Ultralisk playing Zerg without any ghosts at all. The Liberators, though, were a pretty darn stinking big deal. In the end, Sonu finally made some Corruptors, but I think it was too little too late. That one play by uThermal, where was he? He came in through this way. Yep, came in through this way, knocked down the rocks, trapped Sonu's army outside here, forced them to come through this way to defend. But by that time, this base was done. So many drones were dead. Sonu was forced to come down this ramp to engage, and it was just a terrible position to be in. I think uThermal won the game at that point. He really did so much damage. So much to the Zerg army. Just continued his march up here. He didn't have much left by the time he killed these bases, but he killed these bases, which is all he really needed to do while expanding like a madman behind it. Look at this. Look how crazy he is. All right. Well played by uThermal. Well played by Sonu. But again, uThermal gets our win today. So that's it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter and Facebook, both at /FalconPaladin. Go ahead and check out my shirts. At the end of this video, there's a link that you can click on with pictures of what they look like. Also, a link in the description to my book. Check that out if you have the time or inclination. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.